We're sick of, now are we talking? No, we're sick of that. We want A, B equals C. We want done.
Yeah.
So, regards to Bodito, is he running as a Democrat?
No, he's no. Bo Dietl is not seeking the Republican Party endorsement.
No.
No, I'm telling you that. He is seeking the Conservative Party endorsement, the Reform Party endorsement, and intends to have an independent line. He was seeking a Democratic primary, but for legal reasons, and the legal reason was he filled out the form wrong. He checked off both Democrat and independent because he was thinking he was going to run as a Democrat independent, and that nullifies your enrollment actually as a party member, and you end up as a blank. He is not eligible for a Democratic primary unless you got a Wilson Pakula, and they're not going to give him a Wilson Pakula. So he's out of that, but he is seeking Conservative, the Reform Party.
Why wouldn't he do Republican?
You have to ask him. When we met with him, he was not clear on that, and it's not my purpose to beg a person to run as a Republican.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about Castamedas?
Before you got he is definitely still considering it. You should not at this point consider him out.
Do you think he's pretty good? I think he's pretty good, but I'm not.
He would be certainly a well-financed candidate.
I remember when he ran last time. Look, when I was president of the Young Republican Club, I had all 4 mayoral candidates that wanted to speak. I had them all separately speak. I had Kassar, and then I had Joe Loader, and he became a very good friend of mine, McDonald and Tom Allen. And even though Allen was in it for like 5 seconds, but at the time he was a nanosecond, but I to speak. So we all have everyone's voice heard there. So what I recall about Kassar afterwards was that he was trying to get the Liberal Party together, right?
Yeah, he actually wanted to put some money into it. The truth is, he wasn't all that liberal. He's really not all that liberal, but he was looking to put together what his consultant said was the way to go about winning. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, he's not really a bad guy at all, but you know, I don't know what he's doing.
I have a question though, before we go on to other candidates about Bodito. You say you don't know why he's not done the GOP, and you just explain why he can't beat them. But this combination he's trying to put together, Reform Party, Conservative, and Independent line, does that have a chance? Does he have a chance to win?
I mean, here's what he'll tell you. He'll tell you that, and you know, Republican Party, what are these elections about in the city? They're about personality-driven elections. So chances are, if you're in on the Conservative and in the Reform Party, you'll be probably out poll massing.
Who's the current,
you know what I mean?
who's the current borough president of Staten Island?
Jimmy Odo, Republican. And Jimmy is running for re-election.
He's running, okay.
But he's not terminally running for re-election.
So you think there's a chance then, if he has that combination?
No, I think it's still, they're all long shots. I think they're all long shots. Let me tell you what, look, I told this to Mike Faulkner the other day, and I mean, this is a risky conversation I'm having with you because some people will say what he's listed, you know, this isn't the way it should be. I tend to think that the ticket this year is being developed so that we can go from 3 city council members to 6, 7, or 8.
Nice.
Or 9. 6, 7, 8, or 9. That's what I think we're developing the ticket for. I mean, I would like, if the guy's indicted, the mayor's indicted, then I think, and he's still on the November ticket, then I'd say it all changes the conversation. Yes. But otherwise, I'd say that we're trying to enhance, we're trying to put the strongest ticket together to enhance our vote in these communities around the city, where if we have good city council candidates, we're going to have a good city council candidate in Bay Ridge. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be you or Quaglione. It's certainly not going to be Bob Capano, that much I'll tell you. But if it's you or it's you know, I mean, we could win there. I mean, there's another seat over there where you guys are talking to Steve Saperstein. You aren't, but the point is, he could possibly win. There's a couple of places in Queens. They're talking to serious candidates. The term limits up in the Bronx, so that seat up in Throgs Neck is open. There's like 9 Democrats running, but there should be a decent Republican. They always have a chance on the east side of Manhattan when these seats open up. So, you know, and they have the 3 seats. So if they come with 6, 7, 8, 9 seats, fine. I mean, to do that, we need to win those communities. Our mayoral candidate can't get 30% of those communities. In those communities, we have to, as a combination, the Conservative and Republican lines, and remember this, they don't have to be the same candidate. You could have 2 different candidates and getting over 50% of the vote in those communities, which puts a lot of votes underneath. you know what, we can win those seats. Now, having said that, I'm not giving up on the mayoral race at all. I'm just trying to put together a successful overall year for us.
Okay.
And Bo, I didn't tell Bo not to seek the Republican line, but I mean, you know what? He's he's not really a Republican if you're talking.
But he has a strong following among conservatives.
Strong, he can put together a coalition of people in the city of New York that are kind of like Trump.
Right.
Kind of like Trump, but he doesn't actually need the Republican line to do that. They're going to still vote for him. They're just going to vote on the reform line or the conservative line. And I can't get Massey out of the race, so he's going to have a primary. Maybe he doesn't want a Republican primary.
And what
Massey isn't
what do you
around.
think of Faulkner?
I like Mike a lot. I would not say that the Conservative Party wouldn't be endorsing him. We could very well be endorsing him. I like him a lot. I spoke to him again on Friday. He's just a top-notch person.
When is the governor's race?
Well, let's stick to one thing at a time. Are you done with the mayoral is done?
And who are we going against? Hillary Clinton?
No, we're going against de Blasio most likely.
Is there any chance de Blasio doesn't get the Democratic nomination?
It's
I mean, will he lose a primary? Probably not unless he's indicted. Will he be indicted? I wouldn't say he wouldn't be.
Is there anybody on the Democratic side going up against him at all?
The only one right now is Stringer, but if the indictment comes down prior to June, there'll be multiple candidates running against him.
Bill, they'll sense death in the air. They'll be swarming around them.
Okay, so you want to go on to governor now?
Well, I think it's pretty much, unless you're self-funded, in my opinion only in New York City, it's pretty much a lost cause. Because if you look at the changing, new voters that are here from not outside the country, but within the country, it's a very steep uphill battle. Here's what I would focus on, and this would be for many years, it wouldn't just be for next year. City council, I think, is great that they could increase their numbers there. State legislature.
Well, just getting back to the city council, and there's another thing, because you're the Tea Party, not the Republican Party. We've got to break the progressive lock there. There are a couple of conservatives there, and even in a couple of these places, if the Republican doesn't win, you could end up still with a more conservative-oriented one. Like, for example, Chaim Deutsch really votes for the progressive group, even though he's an Orthodox Jew. If Chaim Deutsch got removed, no matter who removed him, that would be a plus for the people that are on the other side of the ledger, the conservative side versus the Democrat, the liberal side, so the progressive side. So, I mean, I think we can have the ability, like you're saying, and I'm saying, to get 6, 7, or 8 Republicans, but you're going to have 4, 5, or 6 additional more conservative Democrats.
Here's a simple thing about Chaim Deutsch. Remind his constituents what he's voting for, what he's voting against.
Well, I mean, I would
That's what
say,
they don't do.
I agree with you. But I mean, I agree with you, but I mean, that's for our candidates and the party. We try to do it a little bit, you guys, I'm sure. But the thing is that, I mean, we could, in all seriousness, if we could end up with 12 to 15 more conservative council members, total 12, 15, that'll play a big role in keeping the speaker from being another ultra-liberal.
Yeah, look at a guy like, he's in my neighborhood, Dov Hiken.
Yeah.
I know him. Good man. Like him.
Well, the only thing about him is he voted for a sanctuary state bill.
He's wrong. He's definitely wrong on some of these issues.
Yeah, so I mean, and I agree with, I mean, we endorse him, but I may drop that endorsement.
I ran against him in '98.
I mean, because of the fact that he voted for that sanctuary city bill. We're discussing, our committee's discussing.
Well, the next time I see him, I'll ask him about it.
You need to, because I want him to explain to a lot of people. Sanctuary state bill he voted for.
Actually, my liberal Democratic state senator, Kevin Parker,
I ran
against sanctuary state, to my surprise.
Right, but I still wouldn't consider him
I think I read about that. I think it was some weird, he had a wedding he had to go to.
No. He was president. He voted against it. He thought the bill. You know, when those bills come up and they're read, unless leadership is telling you this is like a big deal, like on a bill like that, you're going to vote against it. I mean, in the assembly, they only were able to get the 77 votes to pass the darn thing because they held the vote for an extra 45 minutes, and the speaker and the majority leader went onto the floor to pull levers for these characters. They need 76 votes to pass. It was 77 to 60. What was it, Fran? 77 to 61, right? And the others didn't vote. The others didn't vote. So, you know, so basically, that's what occurred.
But
you want to talk about the governor's race for a second?
Sit right
I
there.
think, I wouldn't bother with the mayor's rights.
Well, I mean, we're gonna bother with it, it's happening.
No, the best thing you can do is get people's names out there and look for the future, and, maybe see
When
what
is the
talent
next,
is out there.
when's the next election, Governor?
Is it
Next
18 or
year,
19?
not this year, the following.
18. 18. So what I would do personally is look, how did, Pataki come out of obscurity? He was
Well,
a very successful.
Pataki had a statewide United States senator that was
Such a
pushing it.
demand.
We don't have it, you'd be shocked at the difference having one statewide elected official makes versus not having one. It's like the
Yes.
gel that brings the state, that brings a lot of the politics
100%.
together. So he raised the money for the governor, and he put that together. And Pataki had already been moving around a little bit. He was on the outside in the Senate,
Right.
state senate, because he primaried as Senator Goodhue, beat her, and that put him he wasn't close to Marino, so they were looking, so he was doing his own thing. And when you start doing your own thing in the state legislature, you have the ability to, kind of pick up on a few things. And that's what happened with him.
Well, what I would advise is look at a list of mayors and county executives, whomever. Try to see who's successful out there, who's actually had to meet a budget, and who has some very good. He's very He's very good on TV.
Well,
He's very good at communicating.
you already said that the Astorino might run again.
Well, I didn't say we endorse him again. Astorino, Wilson, Mark Molinaro, who gives a good presentation, are three people that are moving around right now. I mean, you got these new Congress members. Lee Zeldin, Lee is a pretty close friend of mine, and he's interested.
Who's upstate?
For upstate, well, Mark Mullen, what do you define as upstate? I think the Bronx is upstate. So, so here's the deal. Mark Molinaro is Dutchess County.
That is Vaco territory.
Well, no, you want to get up that far, the guy who wants to run is called Palladino.
He's crazy, forget him.
Well, but a lot of people upstate like him.
He's not.
Nobody upstate's gonna be able to get around him unless
You need someone who can win and who's.
I didn't say I was endorsing him, I'm saying to you right now, he's still one of the people in the mix. I forgot to mention him. And he's hard to forget.
I voted for him, but I seen certain things he said.
I bet every single person in this room
Well, he was a
voted.
big Trump supporter.
But he's really.
When he came out with that statement,
That's crazy.
what was
There's
that?
certain things that he said.
He said something where he was really in hot water, some derogatory. I forget what it was.
Just recently.
There was the thing about Mrs. Obama, when he talked about
Right,
her and the.
yeah.
I made
AIDS and all that.
a public statement out that, basically that it was disgusting what he said and that he should be ashamed of himself and that.
Well, his thing is this, he apologized profusely. The problem is, so many people have been mad at him for other things. They
Look what he did with the guy from.
They're not gonna think his apology.
Look what he did from the guy with the New York Post. Was it him that did that? I think with Fred Dicker, I think.
Oh, yeah, he's calls.
The guy's on
But here's the thing. You know what the funny thing is? I'm going to tell you this. He really isn't unhinged. He sounds when you see him public statements. I swear to God, if he was sitting here with you,
He's probably very.
he is the nicest guy you ever
It
want to
really
meet.
is.
Yeah.
He's really a nice
What are you
guy.
talking about?
Carl
Carl
Palladino.
Palladino. But
You know what it is? It might be, he's trying to do Trump, but only
No,
Trump
Trump
can
is
do
trying to do
He was
Trump.
doing,
He was the
no, he was
original
doing Trump way before
Right, he was
Trump.
the original.
Oh, okay.
I used to say to people, Donald Trump is Carl Palladino on
I
steroids.
see.
No,
What percentage of the state did Trump get?
So Trump did actually better than Romney, and
He
he did
didn't
better than
even run
McCain.
here, though. He didn't even try for anything here.
Look, he has roots here. Why the hell did he do so badly?
Because he knew he'd have a chance.
He
He
did
didn't
spend
bother. He
money.
wasted his time.
But he also did actually pretty well outside the city.
Right.
You know,
And he won Staten
He
Island.
still lost Nassau and Suffolk, I
No,
think.
he won Suffolk.
he won Suffolk
So
and
one
he
year
lost
lost.
Nassau.
And he
by
won
a couple
Staten
of
Island.
points.
Run
Yeah.
one
Well, that's
borough.
85%.
Am I right? Did I hear Nicole Malitakas correctly? She said that Democrats actually outnumber Republicans in Staten Island, right?
Yeah, they outnumber all over. They outnumber them by
How
one
come
and a half.
Republicans are always winning there then?
Because they're behavioral Republicans. They're cops and firemen who are registered Democrats who are behavioral
Primaries.
Republicans.
So they could vote.
They were all
Right.
Ronald
So they're
Reagan.
like Reagan Democrats then?
Yeah, well, they are. On Staten Island, but they don't exist so much in the rest of the city.
I get it.
They all ran.
Okay, so for the governor, we're talking right now, GOP possibilities. Astorino, Palladino, who else?
Wilson and Wilson and Mark Molinaro.
Who's Wilson?
He's the one that.
Harry Wilson ran for
He
control.
almost won the control, right? What did he almost?
He got 46%.
Right, so he was, almost.
What's that last name? Molinaro?
Mark Molinaro, not Jimmy or Guy, Mark.
Different family?
They're totally different.
Okay.
How about his, what's his daughter doing in Molinary?
Susan is,
Or son-in-law.
Susan is the head of, public affairs for Google.
Well, her name is Molinari.
She's happy with the money she's making.
Molinari.
Yeah, but the other, but Jimmy Molinaro is. the
What about
second-
her, what about her husband? I know he was in the
So
house.
Billy is, Billy's with a big lobbying firm down there.
Okay, sweet.
He's doing pretty well. I mean, the two of them together are doing pretty well. They got a couple of kids. She's back off and on. She's back to, father's not doing that well. She's back.
She had the greatest line ever at a GOP convention. She said, when Clinton was president, right?
Yes.
A Clinton promise has life expectancy of a Big Mac on Air Force One. Remember that? Remember that one?
Very good.
So how was what's wrong with?
Jog my memory.
He's just elderly.
He's been ill for a while. He's been ill
He's
for a while.
elderly.
I know, my aunt was very friendly with him and his late wife. On Staten
Yeah,
Island.
Marguerite.
Very nice woman.
I mean, Guy still has the ability to get on the phone and cause havoc, I'll tell you that. But,
Good for him.
But he's, he doesn't get around as much.
Very nice man.
She's back, but she's not back with public appearances anymore. They don't need to. They're both doing extremely well. I mean, they're normal.
She's
you know
happy
what?
with
They're
private
very well-to-do normal people. There's something to be said.
Still
for
live on
that.
Staten Island?
Say that again?
They still live on Staten Island or?
No, no. So they both live in what do they live in? Virginia or Maryland? I don't remember. I think it's Virginia, right?
Oh, yeah, if he's a lobbyist, he gotta be good.
No, but they moved down there. They moved down there as soon as they were out of Congress.
So what are the chances that Cuomo gets primary?
I would say, this is the way I would put it. If Cuomo gets heavily involved in the mayoral race and busts chops as mayor, there's no reason why he would not, this mayor, use his mechanism to try to cause Cuomo to have a primary. But I'm giving you a theory. I have no information to that effect.
Okay, got it.
But I mean, if I came to your house and started punching you in the nose, you're gonna punch me back.
So this thing between de Blasio and Cuomo is very real, right? They really are.
They are.
They're not frenemies?
They are.
It's a personal thing.
I would say to you that it is even worse than what you read.
It's a personal thing.
Worse than we read, okay.
That is worse than.
What would stemmed it, do you know? What was the,
I think it's basically a little bit about, the governor has this strong desire to be in charge, and it's, in the city of New York, traditionally the mayor's in charge.
You have an alpha male and a beta male.
Yeah. And I think it started, steamrolling. One thing led to another. Then there were actual events that took place. Personalities clashed, and then events magnified the personality clash.
Do you think de Blasio is going to start this garbage can with the East River bridges with the tolls, with the Brooklyn Bridge?
I believe it's a done deal, and I believe the reason it's a done deal, because the governor, I think, is also going to be involved in it, and that was part of what occurred when they took down all the toll plazas. The systems now exist where you can get away with it, where the arguments that used to stand in our way. So we have to have a new argument.
Yeah, we don't want.
A new argument. The new argument is that we just don't simply want it.
Yeah, we don't want to pay
We don't want it. But that's what's going to be the argument, that they need to do the bridge repairs. Money has to come in. They always remember this, and that's why you're the Tea Party.
Arizona.
No, remember this, you're the Tea Party and we're the Conservative Party, and remember that a lot of conversations in government start off from the perspective of how do we increase revenue? So what you should do is think to yourself, what they're really saying is, how do they take my money away?
Thank you.
Often they say, it's only, and I say this, I'm Marty Gold's chief of staff, and I say this in Albany all the time to characters I run into, and it's very easy to run into Democrats. They say that, that's only a 1% increase. And I remind them that there's only 100 ones in 100. And it doesn't take that long before there's nothing left, right? Absolutely nothing left. And they do that all the time. Well, it's only a 1% increase. Only one. You know what? What about the word decrease? So, the president is talking about decreases. If you look at the Obamacare reforms they're looking at, they're actually tax cuts to you because of the way they finance the Affordable Care Act. And by the way, just as an aside, I saw something the other day that 50% of Americans did not know that the Affordable Care Act was Obamacare. I thought they were two different things.
I believe it.
That's pretty scary. But here's the thing. There's an enormous amount of taxes in there. So even if we never see another personal income tax decrease again, and they reform the Affordable Care Act, you will see a decrease in what comes out of your pockets.
I have a
You
question
will have
about
more
that.
money.
I have a question